Uh, but he was he was not absolute. He administered the country according to Hindu dharmas in the discharge of his duties. He was assisted by an executive staff called Udan Kuttam. Okay. The Chola rulers' uh, administration system was divided into uh, three types. The division of the empire. The empire was divided into provinces called mandapas or mandalams. They were ruled by the princes of royal blood or the viceroys. Each mandalam was divided into Valanadus. This is the very important Valanadus, and Valanadus divided into Nadus. Nadus were also called Kottam or Kurram. The village was lowest unit of administration. Please listen carefully. The Cholas administration system or empire was divided into mandalam. Each mandala was divided into Valanadus. Valanadus divided into Nadus. Nadus were also called Kurram or Kotams. Kotams or Kurrams uh, was divided into units. The village was the lowest unit of administration system. Village administration, the most notable features of the Chola polity was the democratic functioning of the village administration. This was in no way inferior to the modern Panchayat Raj. Each village was administered by two bodies. One is assembly, second one is village committees. The committees exercise supreme power in the village polity. Please listen carefully. And village assembly, the first point, the village was the nature of composition of the assembly. It differs from village to village. They were Ur, Sabha, and Nagaram. And according to the Professor K.N. Sastry, there were three kinds of village assemblies. Village assemblies, three. They were, one is Ur, second one is Sabha, third one is Nagaram. The Ur included all classes of people who held lands. The Sabha consisted of Brahmins only, and it existed in Agraharas. The Nagaras was assembly of merchants and traders. The number of the members of the assembly varies from villages to villages. The village assembly was called Perunguri. What that? Village assembly was called Perunguri. Generally, it will meet in a local temple and take decisions about the village polity. This is the first point. And second, village committees. The actual work of the village's administration was carried on by various committees whose members were elected by the assemblies. There was no elaborate code of rule and regulations regarding the qualifications and disqualifications of the members of the committees. And the method of election, the village was divided into a number of wards called the Kudumbas. The wards are called Kudumbas. The residents of each ward will prepare a list of qualifications or qualified candidates for these committees. The qualification prescribed were: one is should have an age between 35 to 70 years. Some of the qualifications are there. One is, first one is, should have an age of 35 to 70 years. This is the first point. Second point is, must possess at least of 1.5 acres and a house. At least 1.5 acres and a house. Third point is, must have the knowledge of Vedic mantras and Brahmanas. Who elected the person? The person knowledge of Vedic mantras or Brahmanas. The qualifications were: he should not commit of the Panchamahapatakas. They were not elected the members, disqualify of the committee resolved these points. Number one, he should not commit of the Panchamahapatakas. And second one is, he should not have served on the committee for more than 3 years. He should not have served on the committee for more than 3 years only. The non-submission of accounts properly while surviving on the committee. They were not non-submission of accounts properly. Then they were not elected the committee members. And the last point, should not have committed theft. Should not have committed theft. These are the qualifications and unqualifications. And on the basis of prescribed qualifications, a list of qualified candidates will be prepared for each ward. Out of them, one will be selected for the ward through lottery system. It's called Kudavolai. What's meaning? A Kudavolai. Okay, they were selected for the ward through lottery system. It's called Kudavolai. Finally, all the selected candidates will be divided into different committees according to their talent and exercise. The committees were first one is garden committee, tanks committee, second one, third committee, charities, fourth one, temples committee, fifth one, justice committee. The number of committees and the strength of each committees differed from village to village. No payment will be made for the members of these committees. The members of the committee were called Variya Perumukkal. Variya Perumukkal. The tenure of the member of the village committees was 1 year, but they can be removed earlier for the misuse of funds and the dereliction of the duties. This is the committees. And powers of the village assemblies. What are the powers of the village assemblies? The notable feature of the Chola administration was that the central government was mainly concerned with the essential subject like defense, foreign affairs, law and order, and left the rest to other units. As assembly enjoyed almost sovereign powers within its jurisdiction, it collected the taxes and punished the defaulters. It granted remissions in time of natural calamities. It tried the cases and punished the criminals. In its daily routine, the central government never interferes. Thus, the villages in the Cholas period were self-sufficient and self-governing little republics, recalling the city states of ancient Greece and Rome. Okay. K.N. Sastry, a nice balance was struck between the centralized control and local initiative. The clear distinction was kept between the functions of the state and those of social group. And another important subheading, judicial administration system. The Cholas maintained an efficient system of judiciary. Most of the disputes were settled by the judicial committees of the villages. Okay. The panel code was not severe. S.K. Iyengar points out of existence of jury system during the Chola period. Okay. And another important subheading, revenue administration. Revenue administration. The main land revenue was the main sources of income tax to the state. It can be paid either in each or in coin. Land revenue was fixed after an elaborate survey of land and on the fertility and yield of the soil. Okay. One third of the grass produce was fixed a land of revenue. Besides professional tax, duties of mines, and forest, etc., constitute the other sources of income. However, the taxation was heavy under the Cholas. And next subheading is army and navy. The Chola rulers were maintained not only army but also they were maintained navy also. Uh, Names was Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola. Very uh, uh, very vast maintained the navy force during the period of Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola. The king was the head of the both armed and naval forces also. The army consisted of infantry and cavalry and infantry also. It was divided into regiments, and the Cholas inscriptions mention as many as 70 regiments. Okay. Uh, Proper training was given to the soldiers. Uh, Strict discipline was also enforced. The cantonments were called kadangas or kadangam. The naval victories of Rajaraja and Rajendra Chola speak volumes of the efficiency of the navy. Already said that. In fact, their victories constitute an unique and brilliant episode in the naval history of India. This is the Chola administration system. This is a very important. Uh, uh, this is this question, and another important was Arab invasions. Arab invasions of Sindh. This is also very important Arab invasions of Sindh. The rise of Islam is an significant event in the history of Arabia and Central Asia. Okay. Uh, Prophet Muhammad was born in 570 AD, son of Amina and Abdullah is, and he belongs to Qurayshi tribes. Who Qurayshi tribes? Muhammad Pravakta. His mother Amina, his father Abdullah. He belongs to Qurayshi tribe of the Arabs. His father died before his birth and his mother when he was just 6 years of age. His uncle Abu Talib played key role in the development of Islam. Okay. After after that, death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, the Umayyad Caliphs took the responsibility of spreading Islam the world. Okay. And next, Abbasids succeeded Umayyads as the Caliphs. The followers of Islam recognized Khalifa as their spiritual and political head. Okay. And the Arabs were they had peaceful commercial relation with India from ancient times. Their attitude towards India changed after the advent of Islam. They got united in the name of Islam, and political ambition aroused in them. They conquered Syria, Egypt, North Africa, and Spain also. They prepared a plan to conquer Afghanistan and Sindh. The eastern expansion of the Arab empires and the Arab conquest of Kabul brought them closer to the frontier of India. Okay. They started making repeated attacks upon the Indian coasts, but these were only plundering raids and not conquests. Okay. The first organized attempt to conquer Indian territory was the during the time of Khalifa Walid. Some Sindh pirates had plundered the Arab ships that were carrying valuable present to the Khalifa. The incident has taken place near Debal, a seaport in the province of Sindh. The Khalifa ordered his Viceroy Hajjaj to punish the pirates, but Hajjaj failed to receive satisfactory reply from Dahir. The ruler of Sindh on the incident, hence Hajjaj had decided to invade Sindh region. The expedition of organized in 712 AD under Muhammad bin Qasim. He came to India with a huge army. He fought against Sindh ruler Dahir and killed him at War of Alor. Qasim then advanced against Multan and captured it. Subsequently, he planned to invade Kannauj but was called back and put to death by the Khalifa. Okay. And next, what next? Uh, some of the Muslim rulers invaded to India. The most important uh, Muslim rulers like uh, Gori Muhammad and Ghazni Muhammad, they were called Turkish of invasions. Uh, the Arabs' success in Sindh was a short-lived one. Uh, During the following few centuries, India enjoyed comparative immunity from Muslim invasions. In the meantime, the Khalifa, which was once a tower of strength and inspiration of the Muslim world, slowly declined. It was destroyed by the Turks. Subsequently, the Turks established a large number of small independent principalities on the ruins of the old empire. Some of these chiefs followed an aggressive policy of expansion at the expense of their weak neighbors. Sultan Muhammad of Gori was the first to penetrate deep into India. Okay, but he did not establish his empire in India. He only, what is the main aim of Muhammad Gori? The first point is plundered the wealth of India. This is the first point. Next, second one. The credit of establishing the first Islamic empire in India goes to Muhammad of Gor, who followed Muhammad of Ghazni. He is also another important point, expansion of the Islam in India. And first main thing, first we will discuss uh, Muhammad Gori. The Yamini dynasty was generally known as Ghaznavi dynasty. It claimed its origin uh, from the family of Persian rulers. Alaptajin founded the independent kingdom of Ghaznavi dynasty in 962 AD. Ghazni was his capital. Ghazni was his capital. His successor, Sabaktajin, uh, further strengthened the Ghazni kingdom by conquest of administration. Sabaktajin fought against the Jayapala, the Hindu Raja of Punjab, and Jayapala was defeated and uh, compelled to cede the territory round Kabul, pay a heavy tribute and recognize the Muslim sovereignty. Okay. Sabaktajin died in 997 AD and was succeeded by his son Muhammad. And another important person, Muhammad Ghazni, he reigned from 998 to 1030 AD. This is the most important Sultan of Ghazni Muhammad invasions. Muhammad Ghazni was born in 971 AD. From his boyhood, he developed the qualities of soldier. In 998 AD, he succeeded his father's throne after the brief struggle with his brother Ismail. Within few years, he, he strengthened his northern frontier, completely destroyed the Somanath temple and extended his kingdom as far as the access. His status as the Sultan was recognized by the Khalifa, who bestowed on him the title of Yaminuddaulah. After settling his affairs at home, Muhammad turned his attention towards Hindustan. He invaded India for two reasons, namely economic and religious. Okay, this is the main important. The fabulous wealth of India rusted his greed, and his religious zeal made him suppress the uh, the idolatry. He is said to have invaded India almost every year between 1000 AD to 1026 onwards. He undertook and many as I think 17 raids. And next subheading is political conditions of India during the time of Muhammad Ghazni. On the eve of Muhammad invasions, India was divided into a number of small independent states during the time of Ghazni Muhammad invasions. There were two Arab kingdoms. It's called Sindhu and Multan. The Hindu kings were ruling over northwest India, the Punjab, Kashmir, Kannauj, Kalanjir, Gujarat, Malwa, and Bundelkhand, and also finally Bengal. The Chalukyas of Kalyani and the Cholas of Tanjavur were powerful in South India. Thus, there was no political unity in India during the time of Ghazni Muhammad invasions. Okay. And next subheading is invasions of Ghazni Muhammad. Uh, Ghazni Muhammad, the first invasion in 1001 AD, he crossed the frontier of India, and in the next year, he defeated and imprisoned Jaipal. The Raja of Batinda, but Jaipala, in order to save his honor, committed suicide. Muhammad gathered rich uh, spoils during this expedition. Okay. In 1004, Ghazni Muhammad attacked the kingdom of Roy of Bahra, and in 1905 AD, he fought against the Muslim ruler of Multan. Okay. And Anangapala and his allies were defeated in his sixth expedition. The seventh to 11 invasions were undertaken against Nagarkot, Narayanpur, Kashmir, Staneshwar, and Madura. These are the main wonderful states of um, during the Chola time. The 12th invasions was led against Rajapala of Kanauj. Okay. Kanauj was plundered. The Chandela king of Kalanjar was defeated. In the 13th invasion, the 14th and 15th invasion were conducted against Gwalior and Karimnagar. The most important employment of Muhammad was the sack of Somanath temple in Gujarat state, at present located in Kathiawar district in 1025 AD, that destroyed the idol and looted the wealth of the temple. His last expedition was in 1027 AD, 1027 AD, to punish the Jats who attacked his army while returning from Somnath. Very with war and worn out with illness, he died in 1029 AD. Okay. This is Ghazni Muhammad invasions. And another important results of Muhammad Ghazni invasions. Sultan of Muhammad object in undertaking the Indian expedition was plundered of the richest of India and not permanent conquest of Hindustan. permanent conquest of Hindustan, only Punjab and annexed to the Ghazni Sultanate. Hindustan, his invasions caused the destruction of the temples of Madura and Kanauj, Madura, Kanauj, and Kathiawar. Okay, and Islam was carried into the heart of India. And estimate the Muhammad Ghazni died in 1029 AD. He was a pious Sunni Muhaddin, and at the same time he was a religious uh, fanatic. But Muhammad was a great general and conqueror. He expanded a small principality into a large and prosperous empire. Okay. His successors were weak and incapable. Uh, During their time, the sovereignty passed into the hands of the Gori chieftain. This is the Muhammad Ghazni importance event. This is very important sources. And another important person, 1173 to 1206, Delhi Sultanate period. It's called Sultanate period. After the fall of Ghaznavid or Ghazni Muhammad, the Gori family rose to prominence. Go was a small mountain principality. The first important ruler of this dynasty was uh, Ziauddin Muhammad. He brought Ghazni under his control and appointed as a governor his brother Mujahideen, popularly known as Muhammad of Ghori. This is the very important Ghori events and causes of the invasions. Very mostly important sources. One is Battle of Tarain in 1191, first one. Next, second one is Battle of Tarain, second. We will discuss Battle of Tarain, first Tarain. The annexation of Punjab by Muhammad Ghori alarmed Prithviraj Chauhan, the ruler of Delhi and Ajmer, when Muhammad advanced into India. Okay. Which is army, the Rajputs formed a great confederacy to resist the invader. Thus, confederation of aided by Prithviraj, the Rajputs and Muslim forces met at Tarain near Staneshwaram in 1191 AD. And the Muslim army was driven away. But Muhammad returned with a huge army in 1192 AD to average here defeat. Battle was fought for a second time in the world in the field of Tarain. Okay, the Rajputs met with a disastrous defeat. Prithviraj Chauhan was captured and killed. Delhi and Azmir were conquered by Muhammad. This was followed by the conquest of Sindhu, Samana, uh, Kuhram, and Hansi. Muhammad Gori then returned to the capital, leaving his Lieutenant Qutbuddin Aibak recharge of his Indian possession. Muhammad Gori knew his Indian conquest would not be in the Rajputs were completely crushed. Therefore, in 1194 AD, the marched against Jayachandra, the Raja of Kannauj. Jayachandra was defeated and killed in the Battle of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghor or Chandwa. The temples at Benares were destroying in 1195 AD. Muhammad conquest Bayana and Gwalior also. This is the Ghazni Muhammad and Gori Muhammad యొక్క విశేషాలు మనం తెలుసుకున్నాం. And next very important subtopic, Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate is reigned from 1206 to 1526 onward. Okay. Delhi Sultanates reigned from 1206 to 1526 AD. During the period of between 1206 to 1526 AD, members belonging to the five dynasties. Belonging to the five dynasties. One is first reigned slave dynasty. Second one, Khilji dynasty. As their capital over most parts of North India and certain parts of South India. Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of Islamic political power at Delhi. Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of Islamic political power at Delhi. He declared himself as the Sultan in the year 1206 and ruled till 1210 AD. His dynasty became popularly known as slave dynasty. His successors ruled up to the year 1290 AD. The Khiljis succeeded slave dynasty in 1290 AD. and its members ruled Delhi Sultanate up to the year 1920 AD. Sultans of first two dynasties, Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Ghiyazuddin Balban. Alauddin Khilji are well remembered in the history of medieval India and Delhi Sultanate of expanding the recognizable boundaries of Delhi Sultanate and Islam in new areas. They organized their military system uh, to support their schemes. Okay. The Tughlaqs came to power in the year 1320, and Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq was the founder of Tughlaq dynasty. This is very, very important. Tughlaq dynasty was established by Ghiyazuddin Tughlaq. His successor, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, ruled from 1325 to 1351 AD. And during the period of uh, Tughlaqs, the political supremacy of Delhi, Sultanate was established on Deccan and uh, Sultan India, so South India, sorry. Yadavas, Hoysalas, Kakatiyas, and Pandyas ruled from south, obeyed the overlordship of Delhi Sultanate after their defeat in wars. Firoz Shah Tughlaq ruled from 1351 to 1388. In the year 1414 AD, Khizr Khan founded the Sayyid dynasty rule at Delhi. After weak successors of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Sayyid succeeded by lords in the year 1451 AD. Okay. They ruled till their defeat in the first battle of Panipat in April 1526. In the hands of Babur army, during the long period of 3 centuries, the Delhi attempt tried to exercise their authority. Okay. One over native subject by force, but most of them failed in winning the support. Winning the support of the native public. During the long period of over 3 centuries of Delhi, Sultan tried to exercise their uh, authority over native subjects. In this process, they fought with native rulers. And first, very important examination point of view, write an essay on Kutubuddin Aibak. Who is Kutubuddin Aibak? Uh, how to origin of uh, Delhi Sultanate period. Okay, please listen. First one, slave dynasty. Delhi Sultanate period reigned from 1206 to 1526. Total five dynasties. Only slave dynasty, they were reigned from 1206 to uh, 1296. On the death of Muhammad Gori or Ghazni, Qutbuddin declared himself as king of Delhi. Okay. Aibak was slave of Muhammad. He was a man of exploratory abilities and son distinguished himself as a uh, both as a soldier and a general. He was appointed as the viceroy of the Indian provinces of Muhammad. During this time, Aibak conquered Meerut, Delhi, Ranthambore, Gujarat, and Bihar, and last one, Bengal also. As a rule, he distinguished himself as a just king. He worked to promote the uh, peace and prosperity of his subjects. He cleared the roads of a robber pests and restored order in the kingdom. Kutubuddin Aibak could not pursue the policy of extension of his kingdom. Instead, he remained busy in defending his dependent position. Okay. Therefore, the affairs in the northwest and Bengal in the east remained his primary primary concern. Beside Aibak got very little time as an independent ruler while playing horse polo. He fell from his horse and died shortly after in 1210 AD. Qutbuddin Aibak laid the foundation of stone for the Turkish rule in India. Okay. He had a great devotion to his faith. Uh, he built two mosques at Azmir and Delhi. At the same time, the Hindus were treated with respect. Uh, the impartiality of the Sultan is praised in the expressions that the wolf and sheep drank water out of the same pond. He was kind of and generous and was called Lakbaksh or given of lakhs. Okay. Though he left his task unfinished, he actually paved the way for the independence of Delhi Sultanate. Aram Shah succeeded his father and ruled for just only 1 year. This is the Aibak. And after death of Qutbuddin Aibak, his son throne Aram Shah. Aram Shah was a weak successor. That's why uh, another important ruler, Iltutmish, he reigned from 1211 to 1236 AD. Iltutmish was the real name was Altamas. Altamas. He is a noble Turkish family, was a slave of Qutbuddin Aibak. He rose to power and influence by didn't of merit. The slave of a slave. Slave ku slave. అంటే బానిసకు బానిస. Was well trained in war and administration. Subsequently, Aibak made Iltutmish as his son-in-law. Iltutmish belonged to the Ilbari tribe. Tried to assume independence. Elders of Ghazni, right? Uh, Kubacha of Sindh and the Khilji Maliks of Bengal refused to acknowledge the new ruler. Iltutmish first proceeded against elders and defeated him at Staneshwar. The rebel governor was put death in 1215 AD. Kubacha was subdued and reduced to an insignificant position. The Khilji chief of Bengal was defeated in 1226 AD. Iltutmish then conquered Mandu, Gwalior, and Malwa. Thus, his kingdom was extended up to the banks of the river Narmada in the south. Uh, this is during the period Mongols was invaded to India under their leadership of Genghis Khan. The Mongols under Genghis Khan occupied the uh, Khwarizm Empire. The Delhi Sultanate owes its administration system to Iltutmish. He was the first Muslim ruler in India to organize the revenue and finance department. He divided the empire into several iktas, which were assigned to various nobles. Every iktadar had to maintain law and order and collect the set up an official nobility of slaves known as the Chihalgani or the crops of 40. By establishing peace, Iltutmish created political unity and centralized government. It ultimately uh, guaranteed protection to the people from internal disturbances and foreign invasions. This is the Iltutmish administration system. And uh, today is class is over, and another class next we will discuss Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.